What's up, guys, and welcome back for another EVE Online video. I'm going to be showing you the Zirnitra. I guess that's how you say it. This is the Trig Dreadnought. Now, I'm going to be showing this to you on the test server because normally I bring this to Alliance level structure bashes. And so there's really no reason for me to actually undock this on the live server. So what I'm going to do is we just found an abandoned structure, this Athenor here. And I'm going to kind of give you an idea of the DPS that this kind of thing can put out. These are just really cool looking ships, right? The Dreadnoughts, I don't know if you guys have ever even like seen any videos over how this operates and stuff like that, but what I'll do is we will bring up the fit window here, and I'll put the fit for this in the description just in case you guys want to check it out yourself. But what we're going to be looking at here is this number right here, and as you can see, you'll be able to see the ticks for the damage as we go up as well. But we're going to go ahead and siege up, which uses Straunt, and we're also using these right here, these Tetryon charges. So we're gonna go ahead and get this popping. So the way that, just like any other trig ship, the way this works is every single cycle you're gonna get higher and higher damage output, and you'll be able to see this damage up here. Obviously, a Athenor is probably one of the lower end things that you'll probably be taking down. I mean, I've taken this thing before on multiple different structure bashes as well. They are a little bit more pricey considering that they're not a normal Empire Dread, but they do look pretty cool. Let me pull this off to the side a little bit. Just, you know, we're just kind of monitoring that damage right there, but I'll give you guys kind of a little look around. But just like any other trig ship, like sometimes the laser will just automatically, like randomly just go off into a random spot in space, which is kind of obnoxious. And also, if you've never actually done abandoned structure bashes, these things are pretty cool because sometimes you'll find these, and sometimes they even have cores in them still, right? But like usually it happens whenever they run out of fuel and they sit unfueled for a while. And what happens when they're abandoned is there's no timers on it. So normally, if you have no experience with structure bashing, you'll go and you'll take the shield down and you'll put the structure in a timer, and then you'll come back when the timer's up and you'll burn down all of the armor, and then they'll start another timer, and then you'll come back after that timer, and then you'll take care of structure, which then the structure is destroyed. But in the case of abandoned structures, there is no timer, so we'll be able to take this Athenor down all the way until it blows up. When that happens, if there's any assets or anything left in the structure, they'll all get shot out into space in these yellow tagged cargo containers. And this used to be a thing that people would do a lot when they took down structures. They would just go off and you could pull, I mean, I've heard and seen people pull 40 to 80 billion out of abandoned structures before, just from, and it takes a lot of coordination, keep in mind, because you'll have other people kind of watching you take it down. So usually there's freighters on site. We've even done it to where we've had jump freighters, which will get, like, we'll sino in jump freighters to the big containers, and then once they're emptied, we'll empty everything into a jump freighter, and then we'll basically sino those jump freighters back out, which is the quickest way. That's if you find a good container that has a lot of value in it. But as you can expect, we're doing this on a test server just because OPSEC reasons, and also you're just not going to go randomly attack structures for the purpose of demonstrating a video. So as you can see here, we're doing pretty good. We're already into armor, and you'll see these damage ticks going up quite a bit, and it won't take very long. The structure takes a little bit longer after you get through armor. Generally speaking, like Ultrahouses tend to be a little bit more tanked up natively, but Athenors are pretty good to go. And sometimes it's just when we go out like killing Athenors, it's just, you know, Athenors are basically used for moon mining for the most part anymore. And it really depends on what your alliance wants. And sometimes like you'll have dread fleets that go out and do structure bashing, but if it's like subcap structure bashing, I'll even take a Lashek. So, and because they'll usually end up on the high on the damage kill board, top damage and whatnot. We'll see here. Go through, and also what's nice about this is, sometimes on certain ships they don't damage or they don't shoot fast enough, because if enough time goes by and there's no damage going on, this 15-minute timer right here will start counting down. Once it hits 0, then you basically have, it'll be invulnerable and it'll repair all the way back up, and you have to start all the way over. What's nice about the trig ships here is the cycle is short enough that it actually keeps the timer paused all the way through the destruction. Other ships, what they'll do is they'll throw out drones, like heavy drones, just to fill that gap as well. And structures actually have a damage cap on them, which, you know, we've hit the damage cap already at this point. That's why we can have like crazy amount of damage. As you can see right here, our DPS right now is 40,000, but we're not doing more damage than we were because the structure is basically damage capped. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see, I just got disconnected, which is why we lost a little bit of time on there, which always sucks, but happens. So, and that's the thing is, if you ever cut the laser, it's going to start all the way back over. So let's go back into the fit window here, and you can see damage is always all the way back to where it started, but we'll go back up. But hopefully this illustrates, you know, kind of like what high-end, I guess, structure bashing kind of looks like. And this is really the only, like, unlike other dreads like the Phoenix, where you can fit non-extra large launchers on it and do like subcap stuff, you can't actually put a lower disintegrator on this, and so ratting with this doesn't actually really work, right? You can actually put this disintegrator on like a battleship or something, and it'll take literally forever to kill something, right? So these this trig dread is specifically what I like to use for structure bashing, whereas like a Haw dread, like a Haw Phoenix, would be like, you know, you could rat with it, you could kill subcaps with it, but for the most part, dreadnoughts are technically for capital ships and the like. We're gonna see how long structure takes. I figure you guys want to see this thing blow up, so hopefully structure won't take that long. We'll be, I think we're probably like 2 ticks or so until we're done with armor. We'll see how it goes. We're about to tick again, 7. So yeah, we're doing about about 1 more tick and we'll be into structure thereabouts. We might have like 2% on armor, depends on 4. Yeah, so we're also still building up towards our max damage as well. Structure bashing is kind of boring in terms of like, if you're not being challenged on a structure bash, meaning there's no opposing fleet, then it really is about like, you know, flying around in a group and just kind of putting all guns on a structure until it dies, which is why I like bringing trig ships, because they almost always are at the top of the kill mail as far as damage, which is fun. But obviously, like for high sec structure bashes, like I'll take a Leshek, and for like, if I can, depending on what the fleet makeup is, if I'm doing null sec structure bashes, I'll try to take a dread or something like that. As you see here, the structure is actually going by pretty quick. That first couple ticks already got 9%. Let's see how it goes. 83. Oh yeah. So we'll be done with this one in a few minutes, hopefully, so you guys can see this blow. We've already seen this cap out to like 40k. So I'm gonna go and close that. There's our laser going off in the distance in a random direction. It's always fun. Keep it going. I think I first started getting into structure bashing whenever we were doing like just high sec wars and stuff, like a year and a half ago or whatever. But they're kind of few and far between, and they're actually one of my favorite things to do, honestly. Most of the time when I take something into a structure bash, I just write it off and, you know, expect to lose it, just like we do like drunk fleets or something like that. I never intend to bring any sort of hull or ship back with me. It's more or less like a social thing, and I think that's where you have to like treat a lot of things in EVE, unless it's specifically to help you like maintain your Omega and keep your, you know, actual Omega status going. There should be some activities that you can just, you know, throw ISK at and just have fun with. The only gripe I have with dreads is their lack of storage space. So obviously this ship, all the trig ships use helium isotopes, so that's what I have in here just for jumping. But for the most part, the inventory is like 10k, 10,000 cubic meters, and then the fuel bay is 8,000 cubic meters, and then the fleet hangar is 10,000 cubic meters. So most of the time I'm carrying all my charges or my missiles or whatever the case may be, and then I'm carrying Straunt in here. And as I use up Straunt, I'm basically just dropping in from the fleet hangar for the most part, because it just doesn't hold a lot in Straunt, being that that is what needs to be used by the siege module. It still has a 1 million cubic meter maintenance bay, so it is good for like actually using it as a suitcase. If you're not doing like structure batches too often, you can use it as a suitcase to carry your like golem or like whatever your marauders or things that you don't necessarily want to like repackage to move. But these are the trig shit. The trig dread ends up going for a little bit more than like a Phoenix does. I think the hull for this is like, I want to say like 7 to 9 billion, depending on where you get it. I think low end would probably be 7, whereas you could get like a Phoenix, like a normal Phoenix, for maybe like 3. What do we got going here? I know this is kind of what structure batching is like. It's just kind of sitting here pointing guns or whatever at a structure and just waiting. So obviously we're into the first timer in between shield and armor is 15, and then the timer in between armor and structure is 30 minutes. So we're doing we only dropped a little bit, but that was probably just from what, I don't even know why that dropped that much. 15%, that's 15, that's 16. So I'll let you guys see this blow up, and then we'll go check out a few of the if there's anything in this structure, we'll go check out some of the cargo containers. So I'm gonna go ahead and red siege here, because I know that we're gonna want to move once this thing pops, and we've only got a few more cycles to go. And so this thing will be, we got 2.5 minutes left on siege, and this thing will be blown up by then, and then we'll be able to see if any loot comes out of it. Hopefully it does, so then you guys can actually see the crazy amount of crap that can come out of an abandoned structure. Boom, there it is. Gone. Still got 2 minutes. Let's see what it actually dropped. So we got the core, and then stand-up light missiles, and yeah, this is literally probably it might have like some residual moon ore in it, but I guarantee you it probably doesn't have. Ooh, damn, it does have a lot in it. And see what it does is like all these little containers, whenever you blow up an abandoned structure, or a structure just has shit in it. I mean, like if it's not abandoned, like I think it just goes to asset safety. If it's abandoned, then they'll get shot out into space. So we have all this stuff, and then this would be the point where your subcap fleet would come in and start looting, going through all these containers and seeing kind of what's in them. It takes I will say, if you want to get into like abandoned structure bashing, it you have to be kind of ahead of the game. It takes a lot of recon, and it takes a lot of kind of pre-work. What a lot of people will do is they'll go in, they'll drop like one item or so in a structure if they have docking rights to it, and what that will allow you to do is from the asset window you'll be able to see easily if a structure is like low power or about to be in like asset safety or something like that. So if for structures that are suspect of going abandoned, then that's how people mark them. All right, so this has got a bunch of moon ore in it. Well, let's go look at one more. That's what I figured it's gonna have. It's gonna have a bunch of residual moon ore because it was literally just used for moon mining. Look at this. Turn this boat around. As far as the fit goes, right, we're using a scoped neutralizer, and then obviously you have the dread level disintegrator in the siege model. Let's bring up this just while we're warping here. You'll be able to see it in the description. We're using the 3 Federation Navy tracking computers, and we're using tracking speed on all of them, and then a capital Capacitor Booster 2 with Navy Cap Booster 3200s. And down here in the lows, we're essentially just using Entropic radiation sinks, 3 of them, an Ancillary armor repair, 2 Type A Multispectrum Energized membranes, and then a regular CONCORD capital armor repair, and then the capital compact emergency hull Energizer. And our rigs are the Trimark armor pump 2s, and then 1 Ancillary current router 2. But the simple stuff. Let's see what's in here. Boring. Damn, some ice. Okay, well, you guys get the point. But yeah, that's enough for this video. Figured I'd show you the Zirnitra, I guess is how they say it. The Trig Dread and how it does on like structure bashes and all that good stuff. So peace out.